How are you on this fine Wednesday? This is Mountaintop Online. I'm still thinking through it, but this might be one of the last Mountaintop Onlines that we do. I think from now on, we'll do kind of announcement videos, midweek videos to keep you updated. But I want to bring you this Mountaintop Online. This is our fifth week of the Gospel according to David. We're in 2 Samuel 6, 1 through 22. If you weren't able to be here at Sunday school, I have a catch-up video on YouTube and on Facebook. Go back over there, watch it, and then watch this video, because this is in response to our lesson on Sunday that Cameron brought us so incredibly well. And so let's get right into it. Kind of the big idea is that David refused to give in to the fear of man and instead chose the fear of God, because question number 1 leads us in this lesson. What is one thing that stood out to you? And so something that stood out to me is we see David learning from his mistakes. We see David kind of excited about what he's doing for the Lord, but not really keeping in the concept of who the Lord is. And what I mean by that is we see David bringing in the Ark of the Covenant, but he's not thinking about how he's doing it. He's not thinking about the correct procedures. He's just kind of like willy-nilly about it rather than truly understanding what he's doing. And I think sometimes we can be like that, where we're like, oh, I'm doing the right things because I'm at church, or I'm doing the right things because of this or because of that. But we have to always keep God in perspective and always understand that we are worshiping him and he's not worshiping us. And so it's one of those things where then we see David go over the top in how he worships the Lord and bringing God the utmost glory. And I think that's something that I saw, is that he learns from his mistakes and sees how to grow and better glorify the Lord. Question number 2, what is the biblical meaning of fear the Lord? Kind of to be in awe of, to respect, to be blown away. That's what it means to be fear the Lord. And we talked about this in the guys' small group. You kind of see fear in 2 different perspectives here. You see David be afraid after Uriah is killed, and it's one of those things, or after the man who touched the ark is killed, and I got Uriah on the brain. But you see that David is afraid, and that leads to a healthy fear of the Lord, because there's a difference of being afraid and there's a difference of fearing the Lord. And we are called to fear the Lord, to respect the Lord, to give him glory. Question number 3, how did David exhibit his fear of the Lord? And I see David exhibited his fear of the Lord by following the commandments the Lord has set in front of him. His obedience is what showed his fear of the Lord. His obedience is showed what he respected, that he respected God and that he understood God's power. So I think what we have to understand there is we have to have the same kind of attitude, is that if we want to bring glory to the Lord and we want to show God we love him and we want to show God we respect him, we are called to live in the way that he has set in front of us. And that means living in the way the Bible has set in front of us and following his commandments. Question number 4, how is fear of man a trap or a snare? I feel like fear of man is a trap or snare because it's always moving the goalpost back. This is a phrase I use when you're, like if you're playing football and you're like, oh, I scored a touchdown, and then like, oh no, sorry, the touchdown is 5 feet longer or 10 feet longer. And so I feel like subscribing to the fear of man is a trap or moving the goalpost back, because they're not the people in control. They're not the final voice. That when we go to heaven and we're looking at Jesus Christ in the face, next to him isn't the people of this world going, yeah, you should have done this. No, it's just him. So I feel like it's a trap or a snare that if we always try to please people and always try to live what the world tells us to do, because they're not the ones that have the final say. I say this, I hear this as a parent all the time, is that when someone's doing something wrong, they're like, well, so-and-so told me, and they're like, the parent's like, well, so-and-so's not the one in charge. And so it's the same thing, that I feel like fear of man can be a trap or a snare because you're trying to please these people, but their opinion does not matter as highly as God's. Question number 5, how do you find out what would please God when you make a decision? We find out what would please God by looking at his word and having a relationship with him. We see this as David as well, that he goes back and he understands what was the right way to do things. And in the same way, the more we learn about God, the more we know what God wants from us. The more we know what we need to do to bring God glory and bring God praise. And then my last question is, how can I pray for you? Please reach out. I know school's starting back in person this week. Tell me how I can pray for you and what I can do. Quick announcements. We have this Friday, we have a game night in the gym, video games, board games, probably maybe either Gaga Ball or something like that. It's going to be a lot of fun. Invite your friends. Be there from 6 to 8. Dinner will be provided. And then Sunday night on the 13th, we'll start our fun day nights from 5 to 7. And then next Wednesday, we'll start our mountaintops from 6 to 7. If you have any questions, let me know, and I hope you have a great Wednesday.